Hello, today I'll be presenting my speech on female genital mutilation and these two. Hi. Okay, so, female genital mutilation or female circumcision is a complete non-medical practice that takes place in areas like Africa, the Middle East, Indonesia, and even some parts of the United States. This procedure is done on females between infancy and 15 years old. There are many different forms of female genital mutilation, or FGM, as I will be referring to it throughout this speech. This gruesome procedure is performed by non-medical professionals to non-consenting patients with tools like knives, scissors, scalpels, and pieces of glass. Female genital mutilation is an archaic practice that must be eradicated. I am sure most people can agree that a procedure that involves slicing off the clitoris and inner labia of a young girl while she is being held down on a dirty floor is not acceptable. This can and will leave the girl with permanent emotional and physical turmoil. Throughout this speech, I will discuss the methods of female genital mutilation and why this act should be banned worldwide. The procedure can only be described as a horrific act forced upon young women and even infants in order to violate their human rights and act as an extreme form of discrimination. This procedure is performed mainly for the preservation of virginity, marriageability, and enhancement of male sexual pleasure. The fact that this is performed purely for male satisfaction is one of the most traumatic aspects of FGM. There are four major types of female genital mutilation, the first being clitorectomy, or removing part or all of the clitoris. The second is excision, or removing part or all of the clitoris along with the inner labia. The third is infibulation, or the narrowing of the vaginal opening. The final type is any harmful procedure to the female genitals, including pricking, piercing, cutting, or burning the area. Have you ever heard of FGM or the terrible symptoms and horrific effects that come with it? If you have not, I do not have time to explain the situation in its entirety. However, I hope I will sway you to believe that this procedure should be completely eradicated. The list of negative effects is non-ending, and this can cause permanent physical pain to the female genitals. The way it is performed has the power to cause extreme infection, and oftentimes family members of the young girl set up the procedure as an initiation. They are not made to be aware of what is to come, so it is usually a sick surprise. They are often brought into a room with other female family members and physically attacked. For older girls, a large woman will sit on their chest and physically restrain them. Then other members of the party will forcefully remove their clothes. Then an untrained individual will slice off pieces of their genitals with a piece of glass or other painful tool with no warning and no form of anesthesia. After this procedure, the girl will bleed profusely and often cry out and scream in pain. Some girls have died from blood loss or infection as a result of the procedure. After this is finished, women experience constant pain, repeated infections that can lead to infertility, problems with urination, and difficulty during labor and childbirth. After FGM, the vagina is unable to stretch to the length it needs for childbirth, and they will also experience pain and unpleasantness during sex. This is one of the reasons for the procedure, since it is supposed to increase virginity. This procedure also comes with a multitude of psychological problems as well. These include depression, anxiety, PTSD, and low self-esteem. This procedure should be widely banned and considered a form of child abuse. Every aspect of this screams abuse. In 2007, UNFPA and UNICEF initiated the Joint Program on Female Genital Mutilation to accelerate the outlaw of this practice. FGM also arises and perpetuates gender inequality, since it shows women they need to modify their bodies in such an extreme fashion to be accepted by men. In conclusion, this is an extremely heinous act that has the ability to permanently scar the women and girls it is performed on. The list of impacts that occur after this is exceptionally long, and the practice is still widely performed in other countries and even in some areas in the US. I hope by now you can agree that this act should be banned worldwide in a last ditch effort to protect young females for generations to come. Thank you.